Hey everybody! Today, Rahdo runs down a prototype for Kodama 3D, which is a tile drafting game where 2 to 4 players are trying to build lovely little tree homes for the cute Kodama spirits, and we're doing it in 3D! And the way it works is, on your turn, you are going to pick one of your Kodama spirits that's out here on this field of branches. You're going to pick them up and move them as far as you want in one direction. So, I've got these two guys over here, and I might pick this guy up specifically. Well, in this case, I'd have to move him diagonally. I can move him here, here, or here in a straight line because he's blocked off. I can't have him go this way or this way because you cannot move through any other Kodama spirit. But you know what? He's fine right there. I'm actually going to go ahead and grab this one and pick him up and move him over here. Now, what that happens next is the tile you just left becomes the next tile that you add to your tree. So I moved him from this blue Kodama with a flower over here to this blue Kodama with a firefly. So now I take the one he moved off of and I'm going to add it to the tree. My tree trunk has 3 sides, 3 different connection points that I can add this to. What the heck? Let's just go on ahead and put it on this branch and start building a 3D tree. Okie doke. And there we go. My tree has begun. And now, the last thing is, if you have just placed a branch that does not continue the features and Kodamas of where it connected, you have the option, if you want to, of grabbing one of the objective cards, either drawing blind or taking one of the ones that's out there. And that's what I've just done, because you can see on the trunk, I have a green Kodama because I'm the green player. I just added a blue Kodama and with a flower. So this in no way matches this, so I get to grab an objective card. Now, at the beginning of the game, before the game started, each player drew 3 and kept 2 objective cards. Then I was really happy to have both of these. My 2 objectives for the end of the game right now are to have a string of 4 branches in a row with blue Kodamas. That's why you can see I grabbed a blue Kodama and I moved over here, so later on I can get another blue Kodama, because that'll be worth 7 points if I can get 4 in a row. And then also, I get 2 points if I have a blue Kodama on each of the 3 sides of my tree. If I get a blue Kodama attached to this, and this, or whatever came off of it, I can get 2 more points. So I like blue Kodamas. And now I'm going to get to pick one of these. Now, none of these are, well, actually, this one's pretty good because, hey, it's 2 points for every pink flower that I have on each side. I've just gotten a pink flower. Let's say I'm going to snag this. So now I am trying to get blue Kodama on each of the 3 sides of my trees and pink flowers. Okay, so those are my objectives. A new one comes out and my turn is over. It is now Jen's turn. And let's see, so she's can grab this Kodama and make a move, or this Kodama and make a move. Jen's 2 starting objectives she's got are, she gets a point for every pink Kodama she's got as the first 2 branches off of the trunk. So Jen wants to grab lots of pink Kodamas early on because each one is worth a point until she gets 3 or more branches away from the trunk. And then the other one is, she gets 2 points at the end of the game for every branch that has 2 branches connected to it, so it's completely full. So Jen wants a really dense, low level 1 and level 2 tree full of pink Kodamas because of these 2 objectives, which is why, as we were doing the initial setup, Jen grabbed 2 pink Kodamas that were on display, and Jen's going to want to grab more pink Kodamas. So she might say, hey, let's have this guy. Well, this guy could come over here and grab this one, or this guy could come over here and grab this one. Let's see. Jen figures she'll go ahead and grab this one. And that means she takes this one, which has a firefly and a pinky, and adds it to, starts building up her tree. Let's just go on ahead and slot it in right there. And so her tree has begun. And again, like me, because her base had a blue and she didn't add another blue, she added a pink, so she can snag another objective for herself. And look at this. Since she already wants tons of pink Kodama on the base of her tree, this is 1 point for every pink Kodama at the end. So these 2 could work pretty well together. So she'll go on ahead and do that, and then another one comes out. And her turn is over. It is my turn now. I still want to get more blue Kodamas. I could move here and pick this guy up. He has an earthworm, or this one up with a firefly. And I probably like the firefly more because I can see there's an objective out here for getting points if I get fireflies on all 3 sides. So let's go on ahead and do this and have him move. I can have him move over here to get this blue Kodama or over here to get this Kodama. I also remember I want pink flowers though, because of this objective I just got. So I'm going to move down here, which means I'm going to add my second. Now, I need to have ultimately 4 blue Kodamas in a row to score that 7-point objective. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to extend my existing branch and get higher and higher. All right, so let's just go on ahead and slot that in there. And as you can see, my tree just got a little bit bigger. Now there is a danger. If you put all your stuff on one side of the tree, it could get a little top heavy and fall over. So you have to kind of balance everything over. If you place a branch that causes it to topple, you have to take that branch back off and put it someplace else because your tree has to be able to stand. But anyway, so that was that. And now I cannot grab another objective card because, hey, both of these have blue Kodamas. So, I mean, the new branch has to completely not match the old one for me to grab an objective. So I'm not going to get any objectives this time. But that's okay because I'm working on my 7-point objective. Alrighty. And now it is Jen's turn, and so she will grab one of her blues. And let's see here. She wants more pink, so she'll just have this guy come up here. And because Jen can see, hey, there's fireflies as well. She already grabbed one pink with a firefly. Now she's got another one. If she can snag this objective, that could work out pretty well. So she'll go ahead and take this and start a new branch over here off of this side of the trunk. And she could go like this, or heck, she could go like this, depending on how she wants to expand. Let's say that's her new branch. And again, pink and firefly doesn't match her base blue, so she takes another one. She'll snag that firefly objective. So now she's almost got enough to score that thing as well. Alrighty, boom, and a new one comes out. And now it is my turn again, and I've got this blue waiting to be picked up and this blue waiting to be picked up. This one has the flowers I need for my other objective. So, I should go on ahead and let's see. Well, I could have him come zoom all the way back up here and get this blue with a mushroom or this blue with a mushroom. And well, you know, an objective for mushrooms just came out. So mushrooms might be kind of nice. Let's go on ahead and up here and snag this. I'll place this. Now, I could keep on expending, because remember, I'm trying to get a line of 3 Kodamas, but that's going to make this pretty top heavy. And ultimately, I also want to get a blue on each area. So let's go on ahead and start a blue on another area, on another side of my tree, thusly. All right, here we go. And this is going to let me pick up another objective because this blue and this flower does not match my base. So, see, have orange Kodamas. I haven't picked up any of them. There are 3 orange Kodamas on each branch, or 2 green Kodamas in a row. That's an interesting one. I have a green on my base. If I pick up a green, then I could score this really easy by having green come off the other end. That makes sense. Let's go on ahead and snag that one. And then a new objective comes out. And now it is Jen's turn again. And once again, she's going to pick one of her Kodamas to lay claim on another branch later and then activate that current branch, all the while trying to pay attention to her objectives, maybe grabbing new objectives, and so on. And we keep repeating this, moving around, drafting tiles, until each player has got 12 branches on their tree. In the end, it might look a little something like this. Here is a big old completed tree. As you can see, it's a thing of beauty from any angle. Look at my big, lovely, beautiful tree. And at the end of the game, I will score points based on the objectives that I was able to complete, based on the tiles that I was able to draft, and so on. This is a very neat little game. I have to admit, Jen and I, we were big fans of the original Kodama, and then when the new Kodama Dual Rules came out, we became super fans of Kodama. So I was very excited to try Kodama 3D because we liked the original so much. And this is really nice too. It has a lot of the same feel of the original Kodama, you know, trying to make strings, having branches expand that, you know, pay attention to what has come before. That's all really cool. But I was surprised, this is a lot lighter weight than the original Kodama. And that's okay. And I talked to the developers, Indie Boards and Cards, and they said, yeah, that's kind of on purpose. This is more of a gateway. Kodama, the original Kodama is a little bit more of a gamer game. There is more going on, more long-term strategic planning, more interesting wrinkles that come up because of the objectives as you're making a 2-dimensional tree. So Kodama 3D is awesome because making these 3-dimensional trees is just really super cool, very fun and satisfying just on its own. And the objectives work well, but on the whole, they're a lot lighter, especially in this prototype I've got as a 2-player game. Because the really interesting thing is, if you play this as a 4-player game, it's still a 4x4 grid, but there are 4 more Kodamas. And it then becomes a maze as you're trying to say, oh, I need to get that grid, but I can't get to him. So I've got to come down over here to get this so that maybe eventually I can move over here to get over here. The tighter this maze gets, the more interesting the puzzle of how to draft becomes. And with the prototype rules I've got, I was kind of disappointed to see that the 2-player rules don't do any scaling. And so as a 2-player game, the draft is almost non-existent. You can pretty much get whatever you want at any time you want, and the game becomes really too easy. Now, to me, there is a really simple solution for this. Scale the game. Hey, in a 2-player game, only have a 3x3, because then at any given time, half of the branches are, cut off, and that's really going to make it trickier to move around and try to get what you want. You're going to have to make more compromises as you're chasing your objectives and whatnot, like you would at the higher player count. By the same token, it seems like a 3-player game should probably be a 3x4 so that, you again, half of the spaces are covered by Kodamas and the maze still exists the way it does at the full player count. Now, I'm sure there's a reason the publishers haven't done that. Maybe it creates balance issues. I'm not really quite sure. But while I can say I definitely love the idea of this, and the act of making a 3D tree is so cool and fun and satisfying, and the core Kodama DNA is here, as a 2-player game, with the rules I've got, it is just a little bit too easy and light going. And I would hope by the time this thing hits Kickstarter, they will have reconsidered doing some scaling. Heck, if they need to, yeah, leave all the piles of branches at lower player counts, but just put dummy Kodamas that end up creating walls, so that as a player suddenly, oh well, now I've got to move around that dummy. Something just to tighten it up, because I suspect the draft is actually really cool. This is a neat little system, but with the current rules as a 2-player game, this is just more of a fun filler exercise as you get to build a tree. At higher player counts, that's when it becomes a really interesting puzzle to try to figure out, well, I can't get what I want. Can I at least get what I need? Good news, everyone. I've just heard from the developers, and it looks like they have considered tightening up the board for lower player counts. I don't have a lot of the specifics, but you can check out the Kickstarter page to learn more. But I am very happy about this because I think the game is really going to sing now. Okay. And that, folks, is Kodama 3D. And thanks so much for watching. Have a very nice day. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye.